Hello students, you welcome. Today in this video we shall learn about a very beautiful story, The Last Leaf, written by O. Henry. The objective of the story is that we must not lose the will to live. It means to say the desire to live is the only will that makes the life go. If we lose the will or the desire to live, then the life will be like a boat that has no rudder to sail it. In fact, the desire or the will is the force that makes the life to go. In this story, we read about two friends. This is emotional and a story that will inspire us to live. This is the story about two girls whose name were Shu and Janshi. Both were very fast friends. Both the girls shared a small flat in an old building at the third story. The two friends both were the artists, but they were the struggling artists. They were living in the poverty. Once, what happened? The girl whose name was Jansi, she got ill. It was the season of the autumn and the month of November. In the month of November, we see there was very cold in Britain, and the girl could not tolerate that cold, and she got the victim of pneumonia. The girl, she was always lying in the bed. She had no desire to wake up or to take some stroll to feel healthy. That's why the other girl or the friend of Jansi Su, she was very much caring, and she used to call the doctor for her friend Jansi. But still, Jansi had no improvement. She felt that she will not recover from pneumonia. One day, the doctor came in and he inquired about Jansi to Shu. He asked, "Is Jansi worrying about anything?" The doctor asked, "Is Jansi worrying about anything?" because the medicine was not working. At that, Shu replied that in fact there is no matter of concern, or she is not worrying about anything. Then the doctor said, "You must keep on caring about your friend." The girl Shu was so much caring that she wanted to deter the attention of Jansi from her illness. That's why she talked with her about various subjects like fashion and cinema. The girl Shu started to draw a painting. In fact, she was drawing a painting of an old miner, and for that she required a model also. When the girl was drawing, she was whistling only to get the attention of Jansi, and she wished that Jansi must not think over, she must not think much about her illness. But Jansi, on the contrary, was so much concerned about her illness. When Shu was painting on the board, she heard the whispering sound of Jansi. In fact, Jansi was counting something. She started counting in this way: 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Then she counted 6 and 5. At that time, Shu reached to her bed and she asked, "What are you counting for?" At that time, Jansi told her friend that outside the window you can see there is the ivy creeper, and the leaves of this creeper are falling very rapidly. The day before yesterday, I saw outside and I found there were hundreds of leaves on the creeper. But today they were 12 and they are falling very rapidly. In fact, outside it was blowing a very cold wind and it was raining also. It was autumn season and it was very natural for the trees and for the creeper to shed its leaves. But Jhansi compared the falling of the leaves with the life of herself. She thought, when the last leaf of the creeper will fall, I shall sleep a sound sleep, I shall sleep forever and I shall die. At that time, her friend Shu chided her. She said, you must not think anything about such. This is not a reality. This is only your illusion. She pulled the curtain and she closed the window. But she was thinking something. The friend of Jhansi, she was worried about her illusion. The girl closed the window and she asked her not to look outside. To look outside the window. To complete her painting or the drawing, she went to the old painter Behrman, who was living on the ground floor. He was an old painter of about 60 years and he wished to complete a masterpiece in his life. But unfortunately, he could not draw his masterpiece. She went to him and expressed her worries about Jhansi to Behrman. Behrman told that it was totally futile to think about the death. It is not good for Jhansi. She must not compare her life with the falling leaves of the creeper. Both Shu and Behrman, they went inside the room of Jhansi, tiptoed without making any noise. At that time, Behrman watched that outside the window there was the ivy creeper, and he just once again closed the window and went silently outside the room. Then in the night, once again the raining was there, the strong wind was blowing. But in the morning when the girl Shu and Jhansi awoke, Jhansi requested Shu to open the window. Reluctantly, Shu opened the window and she drew the curtain back, and she was amazed to see that all the leaves of the ivy creeper had fallen, but only one leaf was still sticking with the ivy creeper. The feature of the creeper was that the leaf which was still there, it was fresher and it was greener. Jhansi thought that the rain has made the leaf much fresher and much greener. Then on that day, the girl kept on thinking about her life. But in the evening time, one more storm came and the night passed. The next morning, both the girls once again watched the same leaf on the ivy creeper. Now, Shu told Jhansi, did you notice that this leaf is still there? At that moment, Jhansi felt somewhat better, and she felt that her life is secure now. She combed her hair and she tried to take the interest in the surrounding. At that time, Shu also motivated her. Now, next day, the doctor came. The doctor diagnosed her. The doctor made the inspection of the girl Jhansi, and he discussed with Shu that now the girl Jhansi had a desire to live, and I do think now the girl will recover very soon. But the doctor informed the girl Shu that the old painter Mr. Behrman, who is living on the ground floor, he is also suffering from pneumonia, and it is impossible to recover for him. He is very much severely ill. At the time, the girl was also worried about Mr. Behrman, and the next day the girl came to know about the death of the old painter. After the death of the old painter, both the girls, Shu and Jhansi, they went to the house of Mr. Behrman. There, the janitor or the watchman told the girls that near the bed of Mr. Behrman, there is the brush, and there are the colors of a green and yellow, and there is the ladder also. It seems that he had made a painting. Now, the girl Shu concluded that the last leaf, which is still sticking with the ivy creeper, is made by Behrman. The man who wanted to draw his masterpiece, he was successful in drawing his masterpiece, and he was able to save the life of a Jhansi. Now we shall discuss about the question answers of this chapter. In fact, where were the two girls living, and what was the problem of a Jhansi? Shu and Jhansi both were fast friends, both were the artists. They were sharing the same flat which was built in the third story of an old building. And the problem of Jhansi was that she was suffering from pneumonia. Moreover, Jhansi had lost her desire to live. Now, what did Shu do as caring for the girl Jhansi or for her friend? So, she was very much caring. Like a true friend, she cared the girl very much. She called for the doctor. She called for the doctor, and she took care of everything of Jhansi. She tried to defer or deter the attention of Jhansi towards her illness, and she kept on motivating her. Moreover, the girl Shu, she made the painter to come in the house, and she was so much concerned about Jhansi that she shared everything about illness of Jhansi with Mr. Behrman. Now, the last question, who was Mr. Behrman and what was his masterpiece? Mr. Behrman was an old painter about of 60 years. He wished to draw a masterpiece, but he was not successful to draw his masterpiece. Finally, the illness of Jhansi gave him a chance or gave him an opportunity to draw his masterpiece as the last leaf. And we can say he was able to save the life of the ill girl Jhansi by making that ivy creeper. So that is much better than a drawing if your painting is able to save the life of someone. So these were the question answer of this chapter. Thank you very much.